How's it going, everyone? Welcome to part 4, You Must Redo. So, this is like the third time I've redone this, the beginning part. If you looked at the first 3 episodes that I have of Arceus here. And basically, it just wasn't satisfied, you know? And what really helped here in this final edition of Arceus that I've made was a sketch. I focused more on my main subject than I have in the last 3 videos. I was focused more on the background and the setting when I should have been focused on Arceus, you know? So I took my time here for him to come out, to give him a better pose. Basically, the pose was the main thing for me, you know, as it should be for your sketches. Just getting the better idea of how he's gonna look. So in this case, I used the old drawings that I have from part 2 and 3, and you can see it in the background. It's still there. And I'm just redrawing the sketch over it, just doing a little bit of edits here and there, and just strictly focusing on him for this whole beginning part, you know, literally ignoring everything else. I did, before recording, do the unknowns. I just drew them out, pretty simple, so because I wanted to get all of them in there, and I just wanted to make sure I have their anatomy or the way they look correct. So I just had them there. So all I have to do is just pull them out and throw them in there, you know. But yeah, you know, here he is, Arceus. I'm currently adding color, but that video is definitely going to be shorter than this. This is literally almost 24 hours. And there's definitely more, man. I spent so much time on this. The thing that I asked myself is, so when I put all the videos together, the clips that I got here, it easily reaches 24 hours. My question is, if I were to just do it all that in one sitting, like let's say I woke up, you know, 12 a.m. and I started drawing and I didn't stop until 24 hours, would I reach this same point? And I definitely think I wouldn't. Just not only because I don't have experience on, you know, certain materials, angles, and all that, because I did had a study for, well, not really study, but kind of like analyze what I was drawing separately. So at this moment I'm drawing Garchomp, right? And I was this is like a 4th clip, you know. This is like day 2 or something, the 2nd or 3rd day of redrawing this, coming back to it, leaving it around there. And basically if I didn't have Garchomp here on the side on a different screen or something, I'd have a lot more difficulties trying to draw him out. And so basically it's just, I think taking your time is a good thing. A key thing here is, originally I was thinking of drawing him kind of in a defensive position, him blocking his face from, like, maybe there's wind blowing from Arceus' presence, and he's kind of like backing off a little bit, right? But I'm like, wait a moment. You know, I came back to him after and I'm like, wait a minute, he's fucking Garchomp. You know, Garchomp, their species are very aggressive, you know. Looking at the anime and reading the Pokedex, so why would he be blocking, you know, wind from his face. Like, really? No, man. He's fucking like, he's probably like pissed and amped up. You know, he's like, fuck yeah, you know, some fucking challenge. And you know, we're talking about Cynthia's Garchomp. You know, the champion. That Garchomp has seen some shit, man. It's been through so much shit to reach champion and be Cynthia's iconic Pokemon, you know? Like, you always see Cynthia with Garchomp. So, that Garchomp has been through a lot of stuff. And here we're, you know, sign up for the unknowns here. I redid them again. I redo the unknowns so many times, man. But here's so I can actually, you know, throw them in there, get them more better proportions, and basically just render them out a little bit more. And then you see me here just kind of literally dragging them one at a time. And I did a little bit of, I had a little fun here and kind of make some small Easter eggs. So I put like some anagrams of my name and some favorite words. Like, if you pay attention, you could read meme, M-E. And then I put Pewds, because PewDiePie, probably one of my most favorite YouTubers, you know. Even with all the controversial stuff, honestly, I think like it's all just a big joke. Like, he puts himself in jokes that he doesn't mean to. And he's probably like one of the most genuine people out there, you know. So I really love this guy. And then another big one that I have is NCIS, the Naval Criminal Investigation. Is that what it is? The anagram, NCIS. Basically, I was been watching. I'm still not even done with it. There's like 8 seasons of NCIS, maybe even 12. And I literally throughout this whole series, that's all I've been fucking watching. NCIS nonstop, man. So I definitely wanted to put the unknowns in there for NCIS, just a reminder, like, yeah, you know, I was watching NCIS this whole time. And yeah, man, super entertaining show, honestly. I'm surprised in how long a series like that can last, and I think it's still kind of going. You know, it's one of the shows like Criminal Minds. I think Criminal Minds recently made a comeback too. I haven't really checked on that, but I'm pretty sure. It's just interesting, you know, like the writers being able to come up with something. Like, the stakes are always higher and higher, you know. I don't know. They sometimes still keep me on edge every other seat, you know. Even though I know they're kind of gonna be all right, you know, they're gonna find the guy at the end or something, or maybe in like the next 2 episodes. It's still fun to watch, and yeah, it kept me company during this whole time, you know. And here you see me messing around with the floor. So the floor right here, I'm just kind of like mapping the area and just more like sketching it out. And then these pillars in the back, I didn't realize that there was pillars back there until I was watching the event. I looked it up on YouTube, the video of the event. And I was like, oh shit, there's pillars back here this whole time. And I'm like, damn, let's throw those in there. Like, I was kind of not really worried, but I was like thinking of like, what am I gonna put for the background? Is it just gonna be all grayish, kind of frost on the background, you know, because you're in the icy mountains. So I was just gonna throw some sort of frost, you know, not filter, but like an effect maybe. So I'm gonna put that on the pillars instead, you know, make it a little bit more, give it that ambiance and all that. And as you can see here, I'm finally throwing on the shade for Arceus here, and I was struggling a lot with that neck area, honestly. Like, you can see how, like, the thigh area or the forearm area, whatever you want to call it, I think that area came out very nice, so I just kind of left it as is. But the neck and the head area, definitely the neck area, as I said, it was kind of a hassle. I have no idea why. Just trying to figure out how, because I also got to think about the lighting, you know. I didn't just want to put it all one shade. I kind of wanted to think ahead and see how I might have done it, or how I should done it, I mean. And then I kind of got tired of drawing the head, went to the legs. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta draw this giant onion ring in the back here. So I made a separate layer for that. So a separate layer for just Arceus, and then a separate layer for his giant jewel, his giant brace, whatever you want to call it. This is a pretty cool design, honestly. I honestly want to know how they fucking come up with these Pokemon. It's just like, do they use a whole team? I know there was this interview with one of the creators of Vanilla Ice, the guy that made Vanilla Ice. He did it by himself, and I think it is just one guy. You know, maybe they gotta get approved. Obviously, you know, you can't just throw anything in there and expect it to show up on the game. But yeah, man, if you're not aware, it's one guy designing one Pokemon. I'm pretty sure all of them have been like that. I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure for a fact that the director of this recent Pokemon game was also an artist of the game, and all of his Pokemon, funny enough, I forgot where I heard it, but the Pokemon that he designed all made it into the recent game for Sword and Shield, which is kind of funny. Yeah, it's kind of funny that his stuff all made it through, you know. But, you know, he's a director, so he gets to direct the way he wants to do. And let's see where we're at now. So I'm still... I mean, if you see these awkward pauses for some reason, like, I mean, you will see them. You'll see awkward, just like my brush in idle. It's because I got up and, you know, got something to drink, used the restroom, whatever, ate something. Like, you gotta understand, like, you can't overwork yourself, you know. Like, it's a hassle, definitely, you know, just because it's all running through your head, you know, like, oh, the shading, the lighting, the skin textures and all that, you know, his anatomy, you know, especially if you're drawing something that already exists, like Arceus. You know, he's relatively known, you know, so people that know who he is will be like, yeah, that's Arceus, you know. So I kept that in mind, you know, this is how Arceus looks like. And I'm finally drawing the first leg here. Just kind of messing around with the shades, and I'm constantly looking at my reference photos. They're not on the screen, but I got them here on the side on my second screen. Can't really do it without it, you know. Some artists kind of well, I guess only if they have one screen. There's some artists that only do use one screen, and I've seen them just use one screen, and they tell us, or they tell me that they've only used one screen. And what they do is they have their main canvas in the center, and then they so if you saw right now, I have a separate window open to see my Arceus drawing, and I minimize it on the side. So they would grab a bunch of those little windows and just literally line them up around the whole painting or drawing that they're doing, and just use their reference through there. They just fill up their whole page of reference photos. And I mean, a lot of reference photos is a bit too much, you know. I kind of just want to, you know, depending on what you're drawing, what you're doing, you know, I recommend not using that many reference photos. I mean, for Arceus, I was using 5 photos on the side, and they were mostly just for anatomy. I mean, the thing that's simple about Arceus is that there's not many colors being used. I mean, that's kind of like a relative to all Pokemon, you know. They're kind of just like based off a few colors, literally, like 3 or 4 colors. Nothing too crazy, especially since it's more cartoony. There's not really a lot of shading. It's relatively simple, so you don't really need that much for Arceus. Depending how realistic you're trying to get, like R.J. Palmer, the recent guy that worked on the Detective Pikachu movie, the guy that does those hyper realistic textures that he grabs, you know. Yeah, that stuff is pretty cool, you know. He gets those scales placed on. They look very nice. Let's see where we're at now. So we got one of those awkward long pauses here. And there we go. I was having a little trouble with these I don't know what to call them. I guess I'll just call them toes. His one toe, he's got one giant toe. Um these little caps, I don't even know what to fucking call them, honestly. The little gold cap pieces on his toes. They're kind of like long hooves that go around his toe, his foot. You know, horses have one giant, toenail. So I'm gonna assume this is Arceus' giant toenail that goes up. And I don't know if that's kind of gross that they're yellow. Like if you wash them, would they be a different color? Probably not, because his giant onion ring on his back is also yellow. So yeah, I'm just messing around with the shading of it. I kind of wanted them bright from just the sides. I was thinking that the light kind of emanates from the actual onion ring. Give it that godly, like it's kind of like a halo, from like an angel or something. And here we're finally on the hind legs. It's been a long time coming. I'm surprised once I was getting at this area, I was like, damn, I'm actually moving forward with this drawing. I was almost impressed. I'm like, damn, you're actually getting a little bit more technical here. And I like the angle, really. He's kind of like moving forward a little bit. Maybe just he was just summoned. I know in the event you bring him along and then he goes into the center, but in this case, maybe because in the event Cynthia shows you this location, but maybe in this iteration, maybe she came up and stumbles upon the area herself. Like she knew, like it was around this time of the year and all that Arceus comes back and creates something new. So the eyes here were actually very, very problematic. I can't even say the word problematic. Jesus. Yeah, these were definitely hard. I probably went through like 5 different versions. I mean, here you only see like 1 or 2. This is probably the final one, I think. Yeah, this is the final one. I even did some head modifications too. It was getting so bad, man. Did I put them in? I don't care if I put them in, honestly. It's just more to show you, like, yeah, man, you're not gonna get it in the first try. If you get it in the first try, that's good. If you don't, it's not bad. Just come back to it. That's like the best advice, honestly. Like, I think every artist should say, just come back to it later, honestly. Like, whether it's you get up and do something else or you focus on a different aspect of your painting or drawing, just coming back to it is like one of the most important things, honestly. Because if you get too fixated on that one certain area, you're just kind of like losing it, like losing yourself and focusing on that too much. Because look, as important as a face is, it's relatively a small aspect when it comes to like a big painting like this. Like his face is important, but the general idea is that it's Arceus. So you want to focus that it's more Arceus than in this case it's Arceus. I don't know if I'm making any sense. And here I'm finally working on the little tiny sketches of the Sinnoh legendaries. So here, got little Palkia. I know in the event they're just kind of orbs. I'll be adding the color in to kind of make them more, make them look like one of those paranormal light orbs. I don't know if you guys are into that kind of shit, because I am. Shout out to Mysterious Universe if you guys know them. Their shit is hilarious. Anyway, I'm gonna give it some shine. Kind of like, they're a little detailed, honestly. I kind of went a little a little not overboard, but I kind of really I'm proud of how these little dudes came out. Little Palkia and Dialga and Garantina. I'm very, very proud. You know, this is my second time painting them. And I think these came out very nice, you know. He looks kind of adorable, kind of like hugging his tail here, Palkia. And surprisingly, I didn't really take that much time doing these, you know. Like I said, I'm also in this case, I'm just like I'm adding fun detail, you know, just making sure that parts that are supposed to be there are there, because you're not gonna really be seeing so much of it unless if you zoom in. But if you do decide to zoom in, you know, it's fun to see all the little details, the little shadows, the markings, and all that. And then here we got Dialga. I'm trying to figure out how to fit in that giant fin in the back, and I somehow managed, you know. And I gotta say, man, same thing here. I really like how Dialga came out. I'm surprised because, like, at this point right here, I'm like, shit, how am I gonna do this? You know, like literally right here at this area, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna keep adding shades and fixing up his neck. Also, his little chest piece. His chest piece is so complex. Like, I don't know how they came out with that final design of this. It's like a giant brooch, neck brooch or whatever, that goes on his chest. It looks super cool. And then I fixed his little claws, and they came out so nice. His little claws. I like the way they came out. Giving him those little accent lines, those shiny. They remind me of like spilled Gatorade. I don't know why, but it reminds me of spilled Gatorade, you know? Blue Gatorade specifically. Just kind of like, I like blue Gatorade, man. I don't know if that helped or makes sense. I was drinking Gatorade while I was drawing this, definitely, so I don't know. Let's see, we got those little fins there. That was fun. I don't even know why it was fun to draw this. I kind of really like how they came out, definitely, but it was just so fun actually drawing these tiny Sinnoh legendaries. I had a lot of fun. I did some little shadings for the fins, fixed his face up a little bit, make him look nice, make him look a little bit cute, menacing. Garantina was a little difficult because the way I made him, I like the way he came out, but the way I gave myself definitely a decent challenge trying to give him that stomach up look. Like, he looks so funny. He looks adorable, honestly. Like the way he's up, he's like, hey, what's up? Like he's looking directly at Garchomp and Cynthia. And like his face kind of looked terrifying in the beginning. Like they're just black darkness eyes. And it still kind of looked a little creepy. If I made his little white dots a little bit more, you know, visible, I think it looked much more terrifying. But overall, I think he came out very, very good. And I really enjoyed how he came out. I'm going to definitely touch these guys up again when I go in for the coloring. And that's hopefully definitely coming next year, because I'm going to San Francisco for some time off. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out, you know. Go to San Francisco. I definitely want to go to the zoo and draw some animals from the zoo, man. I haven't really done that. I've never done that. I've gone to museums and drawn stuff there, but I've never gone to a zoo, and really excited to actually go do that. But anyway, back to this. Doing some more editing on Garchomp, adding the lighting. I also had to focus on the floor because I didn't want a lot of their colors to mix and match, mix in with the floor. So I was making sure I paid attention to that I'm going to be editing the floor. And because this, like I said, this is still the sketching, or the floor is still in the sketching phase. You'll see soon enough when I actually start doing the thing, or doing the symbols, I guess. We'll get into that later. And this was the only difficult part about Garchomp right here. Those little weird, I don't know what they're called, but the sharks have them, like the receptors of electromagnetic fields they got. You know, they can sense electricity. They can sense heartbeats through those. They're not like antenna. I forgot what they're exactly called, but stuff like hammerhead sharks have probably the most advanced one. Great whites have it too, but yeah, the hammerheads are more advanced in that. They have more advanced technology than great whites do. I swear I cannot fucking speak right now. I'm kind of like keeping up with the video while I'm just like watching and trying to explain as I go along, because I tried scripting once and it came out so bad. You know, maybe in the future I'll do like more bullet point kind of thing, but I'm kind of just explaining as I go along, trying to remember what I was thinking of during this phase in the drawing. And also Cynthia, as I mentioned earlier for Garchomp, Cynthia was also kind of difficult. Difficult in a way that just trying to figure out how she'll look like, you know? I did a little reference photo of like women, like a woman standing far away. I used that as reference, and also trying to figure out the coloring, how dark her clothes should be, the position of the arms. Jeez, man, I wanted to put in the hair. Obviously, the hair is like her key signature, I guess. Aside from wearing pure black, it's kind of like her thing. I kind of want to draw Garchomp and Cynthia. Maybe I will later. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. Definitely interested in it. I'm still trying to decide what to draw after this. You know, I'm barely getting into the painting, and I'm still and at the same time trying to decide what to draw next or what to paint next, because I am working on a few other projects that I have on the side here, but like these are kind of been like my main projects. You know, super fun. And yeah, man, I'm still here with Cynthia, trying to figure her out. And I come to like some sort of revelation at the end. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I this close to Cynthia? You know, like sure, people are gonna zoom in. I'm gonna be zooming in when the picture's done. But in the end, like the photo is meant to be enjoyed from a distance. So what I did is later, once I have this revelation, I zoom out and like I think it's gonna be in a bit. Like I'm slowly, yeah, I'm like, you know what the hell am I doing? And then I'm also at the same time still trying to figure out her pose. Jeez, man, I spent so much time on Cynthia. Look, so much time. So no, actually, I was wrong. This isn't the time yet where I finished the editing on Cynthia. You saw how much time I spent on Cynthia, man. This is when I should have realized. I'm like, I should have told myself, Jesse, get up, walk away. But I mean, in this case, what I did is I stopped working on Cynthia, and I finally started editing the unknown here. So what I did first is, sorry, my throat. I'm trying to catch up, man. So what I did first is just warp the unknown's positions. You know, kind of like just scale them up a little bit smaller, move them, and change their perspective. And then I made another layer on top of that, and you see what you see now. You know, kind of like these bigger, broad strokes of the unknown. And just generally right now, just making sure the shape is fairly well, a little bit more rounded, as you can see. So right now, I think this is the U. No, this is W, because it's just 3 lines. I'm not very good with my unknown letters. So that's a D. So this is a P. It's P-E P-E-D-W-S. Got the S. And then right here, what the hell did I spell here? I think it's an R, K, and S, I think. R-K-Z. And this is VX. This is kind of like a little Easter egg for me. VX is my favorite letters. And then we get a TOP or R, I think. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out later. And yeah, just still messing with locations using the select tool to get the shapes that I'm looking for. And at the same time focusing on the direction that things are looking at. So I didn't really care which way they were facing, but I kind of wanted all the white, because they have the distinct white eye, so I kind of wanted that, make sure that they were facing towards Arceus. I didn't want just a giant black figure, with nothing but a little bit of white shading for the lighting and some black for the dark shading, blah blah. So yeah, that's literally the only color they really have. The giant white circular center eyeball. And if you look at photos of Unknown, they sometimes have a little hints of blue in their eye. I don't think I'm gonna throw that in there. Maybe, depends, because their eyes are very, very tiny, so I'll maybe make their eyeballs a little bit bigger, or I guess their pupils, whatever you want to call them, a little bit bigger, and maybe see how they look like. Because there's not really any point if you can't really see it, Like if you zoom in and you can actually tell it's blue, maybe, but I don't want to make it too blue because they're kind of like, they're not even Gatorade blue, man. They're kind of like dark blue. I don't like dark Gatorade blue, just to be sure. I like that kind of brightish blueberry blue. And here's the whites. They're kind of, I kind of went overboard because they're more centered in the white is. But like I said, man, I'm gonna redraw this over again. The Unknowns get another touch up, and I think that they still need one more touch up once I get into the coloring. Or well, I'm in the coloring right now. If you follow me on Instagram, by the way, APTEKEL on Instagram. I do some random updates in there. You can check it out how it's coming out. I also gotta say, man, if you're, or woman, if you're this far into the video, I fucking love you. This is a shout out for you. I don't know if you guys are a fan, or whoever's listening is a fan of H3H3, but if you're at this point in the video, which is 33 minutes and 25 seconds in at this moment, I'm looking at the recorder right now, type in Arceus is our Lord 69. If you type that in, I'll remember you in the future, and I'll give you a prize once I'm like, I swear, dude. Just if I forget, remind me, and I swear I'll remember. All right, Arceus is our Lord 69. Mark my words. So here, by the way, is the not logo, the symbols. I did one major fuck up. It's not really noticeable, but you, the viewer, will fucking know. And it's a little Easter egg, not really, kind of a lazy Easter egg. I don't even know if that's a thing. But you see there's 3, 4, 5. So in the Dialga side, there's those little cutout, what are those called? Like hexagons? No, not hexagon. I'm sorry. There's an extra side missing. Jesus. There's an extra side missing on both the little pentagon. It's not a pentagon, it's supposed to be a hexagon. There's a piece missing though. Also on those little, I think they're called trapezoids. They're trapezoids. The bent trapezoids, there's supposed to be another one that is not in there. So that's lazy, bro. I'm lazy, and I'm fucking, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna leave it there, man. Cause wanna know why? You wanna fucking know why? I don't fucking care, dude, because you're not even gonna be able to see it. Like, look how much work I put in this. You know, I don't fucking care, dude. Oh, I mean, I care, but you know, like, compromise, man, compromise. You got to realize that. Look how much work I'm putting in this, dude. Look at, I'm trying to angle all this shit, and you expect me? I'm just joking, dude. Of course, people expect you to do this kind of stuff, man. You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know what's the words I'm looking for. You know, a little respect around here wouldn't be so bad. You know, can an artist just rant about a little respect? I don't even know where I'm going with this right now. Honestly, I'm just talking shit, trying to say words. Basically, it's just that, you know, you don't gotta, not all details gotta be in there, especially if it's not gonna be seen. There's just a little, you know, thing for you and me, the listener. And I don't know why, but I forgot to record the part of me actually extending and warping the actual playing field or whatever you want, the floor, man, the floor. And like I said, you can't even see it, dude. I'm just gonna add some color on there because, you know, the centerpiece is white. You got Dialga black, red, Dialga blue, Palkia pink on the floor. Just gonna throw a little bit of strobe lights on there. That's all I'm gonna do, man. And put a little bit of a, not smoky, a little bit of a, kind of make it like light is coming from them. I mean, in the game, light is coming from them. They're blinking as if they're giant neon lights on the floor, you know. So I'm gonna put that on there. And you saw me edit the pillars in the back, you know. The pillars, honestly, I love the way they came out, and I'm happy I remembered that they existed, man. Like, they came out so good. I think they came out so good. I'm still not done with them right now. I'm kind of messing around with the, I don't even know if they're broken pillars or broken ceiling parts. I think they're broken ceiling parts, but I call them broken pillars just because they kind of look like pillars. If you look at the event, there's like giant pieces of rock-looking formations on the side. You could only assume, I mean, they could be piles of ice. I could be wrong. Whatever your imagination desires, man, that's the artistic freedom that you can choose. In this case, I believe they're kind of like broken pillars, you know, pieces and stuff. They can be ceiling parts, but I mean, if you want to do it, draw it yourself, man. I ain't stopping you. If you want to draw broken ceiling pieces, go ahead, put them in there. In my case, broken pillars, man, all the fucking way. So here's when I start getting a little bit more detailed for the pillars that are still standing in the back. And damn, man, this made a huge difference, because I went back and looked at the pillars and I kind of messed up, because those little pieces that are sticking out, if you can see, they're sticking out forward too. So what I did is, you know, obviously kind of just made the actual bars darker, and then made those edge pieces brighter, as you're watching me do right now, literally. And that literally, like, if you look at that little piece on the top right, the little extra window, oh man, dude, that came out so nice. They look kind of steel, like if they're made out of steel. So I definitely want to put a little, I want to find a brush. I like making my own brushes, so I'm gonna maybe, you know, try to make a new brush or find something that is in my position at this time. I like to make my own brushes, that way, you know, I can share with you guys without any problems, because I got a few other brushes and like I rarely use them. I got Keenan Lafferty's. If you guys don't know him, amazing artist, definitely got to check him out. KNKL, Keenan Lafferty, he's an amazing guy. So he has free brushes you could download. And then Adam Duff, that guy, dude, his art is fucking amazing, dude. I'm gonna take his class December of next year, literally 1 year from today. Well, not today, 1 year from this month is when I'm finally gonna have his class, man. I'm in a long ass queue with him, waiting for an opportunity. Just sit down with him. Well, not sit down with him, but we're gonna have an interview over Skype, and just he's gonna help me out. We'll see how that fucking goes. Hopefully, I'm still alive by next year. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come back next year, look at this video, and be like, "Damn, dude, I came so far." This is great. For me, you got to do this too, man. If you're out there, you're an artist, and you're a growing artist. Everyone's a growing artist, man. If you pay attention to like Bobby Chu, you look at the artists he's interviewing, like Ian McKeg. Oh my god, he's the guy that made Darth Maul, man. He made Darth Maul. He's talked to him. I met him at the Lightbox Expo. I met Ian McKeg. I had his he was a speaker. He funny enough, so I went to the Lightbox Expo, okay? And I got to the front row, and I sat down, and there was this little pass there, and it said I forgot what it said exactly. It said exhibitor. So I'm like, oh, there's an exhibitor that lost his pass. And so I grab it, right? I'm just holding it. I did not read the fucking name, dude. I don't know if I should have just kept it, as a keepsake, I guess. Like, oh my god, Ian McKeg's pass, dude. I honestly, I should have fucking kept it, man. I should have fucking kept it. I'm gonna admit it. I should have fucking kept it. I should have fucking read it, dude. I should have read it. And I'm keeping it, and then I see Bobby Chu, and I'm like, oh damn, it's Bobby Chu. Like, it's the main guy that I watch on the internet, get all this inspirational shit. I'm finally getting to see him face to face, I was so excited. And the little good person in me, I'm like, Bobby Chu, hello, look, I found this pass here, take it. And then he's like, oh, thanks. And then he looks at it, it's like, oh crap, this is Ian McKeg's pass. And I'm like, wait, what? And there's like some guys next to me like, oh shit, that's Ian McKeg's pass. And they're like, yeah, dude, I guess he was sitting right here or something. And I was like, damn, dude, Ian McKeg. But yeah, Lightbox Expo was super dope. I think it was around September that it happened. Jesus, dude. I don't know how loud that was. It was literally outside the street that just happened right now. Just some random dude. So where are we in the drawing? I honestly just been looking at my ceiling. Well, I'm with the unknowns again. You see that O right there? No, that's an H. That's an H. Fuck that H, dude. I spent so much time. If you've been paying attention to the video, fuck that H. I spent so much time on that freaking H. I hate it. I don't like the H. So here, I'm working on meme, M-E-M-E, NCIS here on the side. Thank goodness for NCIS for keeping me sane, Thank goodness for Agent Denozo, I fucking love that guy. He's hilarious. If you watch NCIS, man, good for you. Good for you. You gotta watch that stuff. It's one of those shows that you really don't have to pay attention, but they actually do a lot of good, they set the scenes pretty well, but it's a lot of fun just to watch it. So here in this part is one of those awkward moments where I'm just sitting. I think I was just sitting looking at it. I'm like, fuck, man, I finally got in really far. The unknowns are looking nice. And, I stop and look both of the little images on the side and on the center. Or I mean the little window on the side. And paying attention to the center and just doing a little bit of edits. And then I'm like, alright, I'm fucking done with this shit. Now let's get back to fucking Cynthia, right? So here I am back again with Cynthia, and if you notice, I'm actually at a distance this time. I'm actually, this is how it's supposed to be seen. She's supposed to be far away. So, that's how it's supposed to be, man, because you're going to be far away. This is how the image is supposed to be enjoyed. You don't have to see her freaking hair strands, That's not important. The hair strands are not important, dude. Arceus, the unknown, that's the main thing, If anything, Cynthia is like the fifth important thing. Because when you see this image, what I want you to see first is Arceus. And then maybe the unknown. But definitely the Arceus here. I want you to take it in. Like, the Sinnoh legendaries are kind of like third or fourth, I want you to be like, looking at like, oh, whoa, Arceus, oh my god. Literally, oh my god. And then you look down and like, oh, damn, you got the little Palkia Dialga down there. That's what I'm thinking, how I think the viewer, what I'm hoping the viewer to see, And then at the center, very, very bottom center, right under Arceus, right under his gaze, what is Arceus looking at? And you see Cynthia and Garchomp, little tiny Cynthia and Garchomp, like going like, holy fuck, what is this, dude? What is this? And well, right now, as you can see, I'm now adding the final touches, So yeah, man, it's been a while. Hopefully the painting won't take long. Hopefully, damn, dude. So I'm working on a different project, which I'm gonna be finishing hopefully in my time with San Francisco. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy watching this little image I got here. I'm still editing, man. I'm still not done editing. As I said, once I get into the painting, definitely gonna go ahead and mess around with its settings, the lighting and all that. Other than that, just wait for the next video, And if you made it this far, thank you so much. As I said, Arceus is Lord 69. I will love you forever. Alright, guys? I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.